We'll cut your leg off.
Just because I went to the ER doesn't mean I need to lose it, Kyle. Jeez. Are you legally even allowed to have weapons? Like,
Those are just for show.
yeah, I'm sure they are. I'm sure you legally have to say that.
Yep. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 38 of Just Lying Around, a Detroit Lions podcast presented by the World of Football. I'm your host, Kyle Sutherland, and I'm joined by my co-host and brother-in-law, Adam Snow. As you guys can tell, we both showed up here, unlike the offense yesterday's game. So, yeah, loves being here. Adam, how are you feeling about that loss yesterday?
Oh, I mean, as great as any Lions fan would feel about a Lions loss, and where the Lions statistically outgained their opponents, and had so many red zone opportunities and just couldn't capitalize. It sucks. That's almost as much as uh, the leg pain I've had for the last week that you alluded to with your katana there at the top. I plan on keeping my legs though. Um, thank you for your concern. But nah, look, it was a tough pill to swallow. But it's one of those games where Dan Campbell put it on his shoulders, so that's his bad. But I think there's a lot of blame to go around, and I'm sure we'll get into it.
Yep. Well, you just let me know when you want to be a one-legged Willie there. I'll do it for free.
I think it's weird that you'd be concerned, with my Willie, but whatever. Let's just move on.
Okay. Anyways, on today's show, we're going to go over the Lions' Week 2 loss against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and then look ahead at their Week 3 opponent, the Arizona Cardinals. Ugh, tongue twister there. So let's jump into it. Um, Lions 16, Buccaneers 20. Overall, pretty tough game. Buccaneers defense was flying all throughout the field. Same with the Lions defense for the most part, except for a few bad penalties. Baker Mayfield getting away for a few runs there, but overall, I felt Lions defense held the Buccaneers down for the most part. So let's jump into stats here. Jared Goff, 34, 55 attempts, pretty high throwing percentage there. But he had 307 yards, 2 interceptions, 2 carries for 5 yards. Amon-Ra St. Brown had 11 receptions for 119 yards. Jamison Williams had 5 receptions for 79 yards. And Jahmyr Gibbs, 13 carries for 84 yards and 7 receptions for 22 yards. Buccaneers side, Baker Mayfield, 12 of 19 for 185 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 5 carries for 34 yards, and 1 touchdown. And their star receiver, Chris Godwin, 7 receptions for 117 yards and 1 touchdown. Total yards, Lions had 463 yards. Buccaneers had 216 yards. And time of possession, Lions 33 minutes and 53 seconds. And Buccaneers 26 minutes and 7 seconds. So, yeah, like you alluded to, stats were all in the Lions' favor. But that red zone offense for the Lions was atrocious, horrible, disgusting. Call it whatever you want. It was bad.
It was an eyesore, is what it was.
Yeah. And then Buccaneers, their red zone. No, I don't know what the red zone percentage was, but yeah, they only had 1 touchdown through the air and 1 touchdown with Baker Mayfield. So yeah, Lions defense really shut them down. So yeah, I'm gonna jump into it real quick here, and I want to place the blame, for most part, to Dan Campbell and Ben Johnson. Like Ben Johnson's been in this offensive scheme for 3 years now. He's been with Dan Campbell for the whole time, and I don't know why in their minds they felt like they needed to have Jared Goff throw it for 55 times versus running the ball for 26 times. Especially when Vita Vea went out like the second half of the game, they were still throwing it. Like you got Montgomery, Gibbs in the backfield, run it up the middle. I know the Buccaneers defense is really good. Their linebacker core is really good, but you need to run it a lot to establish the passing game. And I felt like they just, I don't know what Ben Johnson was thinking, but I don't think he was thinking at all.
I think he started the game before he goes out there when he's prepping for the week. He goes, all right, heads, it's going to be a run week. Tails, it's going to be a pass week. And he thought this would be the pass week because I don't know why you get that trigger happy. Uh, like you said, when Vita Vea was out, they had already lost a couple corners going into the game. So I get wanting to attack that defense, but your run game has been solid. I mean, you abandon it for most of the game, and when you try to use it, it actually works. I think they could have stuck with it. I mean, the Bucks have a good defense, so it's not like I feel like we would have gashed them like we did the Rams last week in the overtime. We would have still gotten some good chunk plays, but it did seem like they called like a pass play, and then they'd get behind the sticks. It'd be 2nd and 10 right off the bat, and you're like, okay, now we're gonna run it, and then they get 2 yards instead of like maybe trying on first down, like, hey, why don't we run it on first down and try to get 3 yards there, and then I don't know, they just kind of became a little predictable and then a little too reliant on the pass. It seemed like they didn't scheme things very well. They didn't, play to their strengths. I mean, while yeah, getting the ball to Amon-Ra this week was nice. Like, where's the Sam Laporta action? I saw
Yeah.
Sam Laporta out there. I would say he was open every time, but he was put in certain situations where I'm like, look, he's blocking, and then he gets open, let him block for a couple seconds, and move out, catch that screen or catch a dump pass for Jared because Jared felt the heat a couple times. Why not do that? Like, I don't know. It just felt like their offense was just out of sync. I don't know what the deal is. It just feels like they don't know what plays to really call. It just feels bizarre, like situationally.
Yeah, let's talk about that. We'll jump into the next section here. You said St. Brown showed up this week. He had 11 catches, but there's some people out there saying like 19 pass attempts to St. Brown. Like that's a lot of pass attempts to one person. And at the end of the game, St. Brown was just he was gassed. I don't know if he got hurt, but he was on the sideline
He
laying
clearly got
down.
hurt. I mean, that knee, he got hit earlier in the game. And he kind of brushed off that knee injury or whatever had happened, a stinger, I don't know. But he came back out there like a trooper, like we know he would. But yeah, there comes a point where like, look, I want Amon-Ra to get his catches. I didn't realize he was targeted 19. You said 19 times he was targeted.
Yeah,
I mean, don't get me wrong, he's on my fantasy team and I like the targets, but I don't know. At the end of the day, like they got to move it around. You got Jamo who's doing good. Like they tried to get it to Jamo a few extra times.
yeah.
You got some of those other receivers now. You got the guy they just brought from the practice squad. What was his name? Tim
No, Tim Patrick.
Patrick. They brought up him. He had a couple good, decent catches, but like I could see what work him in a little more. You had uh Vita, the number 33, the rookie we got, Sion,
Yeah, Sione Vaki.
Sione Baki. He can clearly catch the ball. We saw that on that great fourth down play, by the way. Dude's got hands. He should be another Gibbs type weapon. Like, why not throw him out there? Put Gibbs in at receiver. Put him in Montgomery in the back. There's so much this offense can do that we know they can do. Are they just holding back, or are they? I don't know. Did they not know what they got? Because if that's the case, then we should have let Ben Johnson go. I'm not going that far with it, but it's weird. They got to clean this stuff up.
Yeah, yeah, it's the second week of the season here, but yeah, Sione Vaki, like he can catch in the backfield. He can line up on the line there if needed, but I just feel like this team, they're comfortable with certain players. Like Tom Kennedy was elevated again this week. He was out there for plays. Like he didn't get any targets.
He's out
He
there
was
returning
even in the
kicks. Like, what are we doing?
kickoffs. You even saw like one kickoff, Tom Kennedy and Cleve Freeman kind of collided together, catching the ball.
Yeah, what was
And
up with that? Like,
it,
I
like
did. I felt like I felt like Kennedy was like, I got it. It's my time to shine. There's a couple kicks, like he returned one from the end zone. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, he
Just
should
let
have
it.
taken a knee. Like, what are
Just
you
stay in the end
doing?
zone with it. Like, what are we doing here? Oh, and then don't even get me. So we'll get to the coaching, I'm sure. But I just, in terms of the scheme and the offense and Ben Johnson's side of things, needs some work. I need to see improvement from you. You can't get into the red zone as much as they were and not come away with at least they should have had at least 3 or 4 touchdowns. They settled for
Yeah.
what, 2 field goals? Like
Yep.
they ain't gonna cut it. They ain't gonna cut it.
Yeah. Yeah, that red zone offense was pretty terrible. But yeah, hopefully, like they got Laporta. I don't know if he was do curl routes or whatever, but if Goff was scared of the front four for the defense and the linebacker crew for the Frank, get down, for the Buccaneers because they like to blitz a lot, and I think that just got into Goff's head at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the defense real quick. Again, they showed up for this game. They had a couple costly penalties by Arnold. Uh, I, I wouldn't say Arnold's a bust right now. He's gonna
2
learn from
games.
his mistakes. He's gonna fix them. Um, but
No, look,
he's got to turn his
that's
back
something that
towards the
nobody's
ball.
talking about is that referee. They did not call the same type of pass interference for the Buccaneers that they did on the Lions. I feel like they let the Buccaneers get handsy, but wouldn't let Terry and Arnold get handsy, and I was not happy about how that was called. I think he
Oh yeah,
I think that's some hogwash. I don't care if he's a rookie. You call it all the same. And I'm not going to say we lost because of that, but I don't like seeing that. They got to clean that up.
yep.
Sorry.
So we'll see. But Hutchinson got a career day. He had 3 sacks in the first quarter. Ended up with 5 sacks through the whole game.
Wasn't
We
it four
had
and a half? Didn't he officially get it down to 4.5?
um maybe I know they were saying 4.5, but then they switched to 5. They might have switched it back to 4.5.
Yeah, I
Uh,
because that one sack, I was like, I'm pretty sure that'll be a half sack, but
yeah, with him
regardless,
and
still him and oh
Anzarike.
yeah, that guy. I
Yeah,
look,
they had a
he
four
had
four
himself
and a
he's
half.
had himself a season so far this year. He's got more sacks as an individual than some teams have. I saw somebody post that on X. Like the dude has been unbelievable. I don't know if he can keep this up all season. That motor is, man. You think he'd get tired at some point, but that dude just shows no stop, and I love it. But I just wish that the offense would have helped him out because he was in there causing pressure. He was in Baker's head, I feel like, most of the day. So in that offensive line, there was nothing they could do to stop him. So
Yeah,
it sucks that a performance like that comes with a loss, unfortunately.
yeah. And also, you had Brian Branch had an interception, and the Buccaneers only converted 2 of their 10 third down conversions. So, yeah, that defense performance was a waste by the offense losing that
Yeah.
game for them.
How many times have we said that with this iteration of the line? We're usually complaining about the defense not holding up their end of the deal. Defense held their end of the deal this week. I think that's one of the best games Aaron Glenn's ever called as a defensive coordinator. And it sucks that that's going to go down as a loss because I thought he did great. I liked everything he did. Yeah, did Baker get free a couple times there at the end? They had him contain most of the game, and so he got a couple away, which is it's going to happen. So I I don't know. I have no complaints about Aaron Glenn's defense. Just clean up a couple of the dumb penalty stuff. Like, look, Tyrion's just got to be a little more careful. But this defense is in a better spot than I thought they were going to be. To be honest with you, you go up against 2 top receivers in Godwin and Mike Evans, and what on the day the team only had 200 something total yards. Like,
Yeah,
bravo, bravo. That's what you want.
yeah. So my last point here, Dan Campbell, we talked about a little bit. He had his post game uh, conference with the media.
Was that at
Basically
Applebee's?
said, "What's that?"
Was that at Applebee's? Do we know?
No, I heard that too. A lot of people saying maybe you should stop the Applebee's commercials and start coaching. But
Those were filmed wild. Shut up, everybody. Good lord, people. I'm tired of already seeing Dan like all the hate for after one loss. look, they just got to clean some stuff up. I'm not worried about it. Just stop it. Dan Campbell knows he made some mistakes, and yeah, we'll get to him in a second. But continue.
Well, yeah, anyways, he was saying that, basically this loss comes down to him and his coaching staff. Um, before the half, they had a chance to kick a field goal, make the game closer, but they went to spike the ball, and the special teams was running out the field, onto the field while that happened, and they ended up getting a penalty and ending the half there. So, yeah, it's good to see a coach do that, but how many times can you do that before you start crying wolf there?
Hey, look, how many times has a game come down to something like that for a Dan Campbell? Look, we're gonna get one of those every once in a while. He's gonna make a couple of decisions that, in hindsight, we're gonna hate. But when he hits on some of these decisions, it'll be fine. Like the fourth down conversion. How awesome was that decision? Like in hindsight, like I mean, that could have blown up in our face. We were at our own 20-yard line. You know, probably not the best decision, but it worked. And then they got two fourth down conversions on that drive. Not that it went anywhere, but between that decision, the people running onto the field for some dumb reason, like that's the kind of stuff you can't let happen. Like I can be okay with fourth down decisions not working. That one fourth down though at the end, I mean, I know you had to go for it there, but what's Goff doing just throwing it underneath? You got to get to the sticks. You got to get it in the end zone.
Oh,
What are we doing? Like that's just bad. And that's Goff's playing that he's going to have to shoulder on that one. I know the play is drawn up. He's the guy slinging it. You got to at least get it to the end zone. Like it'd be one thing if he threw it to the end zone and it was incomplete, or a guy got batted down or something. At least give it a shot. Better percentage than dumping it down to a guy and you're hoping to get a first down, but the clock's ticking, like no timeouts. They had their opportunities and they blew it. That's the short of it.
yeah, I wonder what. It sounds like Tim Patrick is going to get elevated to the actual roster. A couple more practices or a couple more games, he's finally going to get comfortable to where he isn't going to be afraid to throw it in the end zone like that. So Tim Patrick can go up and make a play because that's what he's known for, is making those contested catches and on the field like that. So hopefully, when that time comes, we actually do get to see it and be successful there.
Hopefully, I mean, this was a heartbreaker because I thought I've the last 2 weeks I've tried to be extremely calm during the end of the games. Like Lions got this. I just keep saying like they got this, they got this. I'm not gonna worry about it. And even yesterday I was saying the same thing, and it looked like they were gonna get it, and they didn't. So look, I'm trying to be patient with this team. They're not the team that they were last year. I get it. They got a lot to work on, but it's a long season, and let's not just go into the lifeboats just yet.
Yeah, like that offensive line too. Still got some work to do. They didn't look good out there either. So a lot of chemistry building right now. They need to be doing.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else you want to add to this game?
Um. Nah. I think we pretty much said everything we needed to. Look, does it suck? Yes. Is it concerning? It's just stuff they know they got to go clean up. It's a lot of the little things. It's better play calling. It's smarter decision making by our quarterback. He threw a couple of faith balls and into spots where he's like, hey, amon-ra should be here. He did get robbed of that one at the beginning of the game. Goff did, where Jamison clearly got interfered with and the ball got intercepted. Why that didn't get called, I don't know. But that is just one of the reasons why the NFL needs to go to a Sky Cam or Sky Judge system where that kind of stuff's reviewable. Ref didn't call it on the field. Guess what? Sky Judge goes, hey, look at that play right there. That's a pass interference. That's a critical play. It's a turnover. Let's look at it. Like, I think it's simple stuff like that. They need to do more of that. Because you can't let a dumb penalty like that go that way and then you don't call it, or you call it if the Lions do it. Like, I don't know. I want a little more balance. But I'm done. That's
Yeah.
it for this game.
Yep. So moving on, week 3, Lions versus Cardinals. 4:35 p.m. on Fox at State Farm Stadium in Arizona. A couple of key takeaways here. I'd like to see how that defense is going to shut down Murray. Harrison Jr. and James Conner, their running back, because sounds like Murray and Harrison Jr. finally clicked, and they had a monster game together. James Conner ran all over the field for him. Also, we'll see how that defense holds up again this week. And then also, I'd like to see what Ben Johnson does for this game. Did he learn from his mistakes? Are they actually going to run the ball, pass, kind of equal mix there, or is he going to go out passing again like last game and fluster Goff there and some turnovers happen? So we'll see.
We'll see. I am nervous about this, and going into the season, I wasn't sure what Arizona was going to be. They played a really tough game against the Bills, and they come out and play this type of game against the Rams that we beat already. Uh, I, as of right now, I'm a little nervous about the Cardinals hitting their stride, but I think the Lions can uh, keep that running game in check. As much as I like James Conner, I feel like they can keep the running game in check. I'm not saying they're going to hold them to 0 yards, but I think somewhere between 60, 80 yards, he'll probably get his. He might break one. That's just the type of back he is. And with Kyler Murray, you just got to contain him. He's going to be on his feet. He's going to be running around. If you fluster him, or if I don't think he's got the quick decision making like a Matthew Stafford. So if Hutch gets into the backfield, he's just got to get him. He has just got to get him. Otherwise, Murray's going to scramble and make a play with his legs, and that's what's going to hurt us. I don't know if they plan on using the spy. And then in terms of guarding Marvin Harrison, okay, he's had one good game. Does it get to his head? We'll have to wait and see. If he's going to be the main target for Kyler Murray, we know that's the guy we just got to cover him, and hopefully the rest will kind of fall into place. So we'll see. I hope Aaron Glenn's got a plan. Right now, I trust Aaron Glenn in his defense more than Ben Johnson
Yeah.
in his offensive plan. So we'll see. I do think it'll be a higher scoring game than like this week. I'm thinking both teams could be somewhere in the 30s, maybe, if Jared Goff and the Lions offense can at least get their stuff together. But I think the Arizona offense will still get theirs a couple of times, but I think the Lions defense will make some plays.
Yeah, if I was Aaron Glenn, I'd have Terrion Arnold against Marvin Harrison Jr., but have the safety, God, what's his name?
Branch?
Not Branch,
Not Tracy
Kirby
Walker.
Joseph.
Kirby Joseph.
Kirby Joseph. I'd have him over there, keeping an eye on them, kind of double covering Harris, because when Kyler Murray throws to Harrison, it's bombs. He's throwing it deep for him. So that's one thing Kirby Joseph excels at is those deep balls. He can track the ball, get the interceptions, and help that Lions offense get back on the field there.
Yeah, and that defensive line, hey, Kyler Murray can barely see over the fence, so just get the hands up, guys. Get the hands up and bat them down.
Yeah, I'd like to see that defensive edge get back in this game because I know
Davenport?
he. What's that?
Davenport?
Yeah, I want to see him get back because I don't want to hear the Vikings say we were right. He's a wash. He doesn't really play a lot.
Yeah. Still a
So
long season. We'll see what happens.
yeah,
You got a final score?
I think it's going to be a high scoring game. I don't want to put a prediction out there because
All right.
I don't want to say the Lions are going to win or lose. Who knows now?
Oh.
All right. So anything
Well,
else?
at least we could say that we were both have been wrong the last 2 weeks about the Lions bringing out the black jerseys.
Yeah.
So it's going to have to be week 4 against the Seahawks at this point. But I'm looking forward. Look, I love that Cardinals helmet and I love that Lions helmet. So it'll be cool seeing those against each other next week. So because I don't think the Cardinals are doing their black unis. I don't know, but
No. Does the Lions have white uniforms this year?
yes,
Like
they
all
have
white?
road uniforms. White on white. I think they might have some white pants. I'm not sure. They got a lot of combos this year.
You notice the first game they wore all blues. This game they had a mix or a blue uniform with gray pants. So
Well, that's the
hopefully they go
standard. I
that.
wouldn't say they mixed it. That's the standard.
Well, they need to go back to all white for this away game.
Well, we'll see what they do.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and close it out then.
All right, guys. We hope you enjoyed listening and watching today's show. Please come back for more. Be sure to visit theworldoffootball.com's website, theworldoffootball.com, for news, links, upcoming events, original articles, videos, and more. If you want to get in touch with us, why don't you send us an email, info@theworldoffootball.com, or you can connect with us by either liking our Facebook, our X account, or going to our Instagram page and following us over there. Also, be sure to check out our flagship podcast, This Week in the World of Football. We drop new episodes every Tuesday. I'm sure we'll talk about this Lions game, Dad and I will. You can go over to our YouTube channel where we got a bunch of new merch up. We got some sweatshirts. We got a few hats like this one in different colors. We got some t-shirts, sweatshirts, stickers. Probably more coming soon. What up, Frank? Again, guys, all those links down in the description of this video or in your podcast notes there.
All right. Frank was just saying, go Lions. Hope they're going to come out with a win next week. So, or this week, Monday night.
They're 0-1 when he
Yeah,
wears
that's
a
it for
jersey
us.
on the
Thanks for
show.
watching, subscribing, liking, commenting, all that stuff. And we'll see you next week.
Yep, go buy a shirt.
Yeah, buy a shirt.
Talking to you, go buy a shirt. Yeah, bum.
I already got enough shirts.